Okay, so this was also requested, just showing you the different positions and what like the jobs are for each position or what they do. I'm on top of the stunt, always. People think it's kind of like the hardest job, like, because I mean, when you see a stunt, you only see the flyer, you don't like realize what the bases are doing, but it's probably one of the easiest to me. So, always stretch a lot. Again, don't wear lotion, stretch all the time. Always keep flexible. When you're doing one-footed stunts, make sure you're not leaning to the outside of your foot. Don't lean like this, because if you're doing like Liberty, you're gonna fall that way. Always try to lean on the outside of your foot. Since the side bases have to catch the foot on full rounds, on full rounds, you make sure when you're pushing off, you're spinning, but make sure you're staying over your right foot and staying on top of your main base. Because if you come back around and you're putting weight in this foot, the base isn't gonna be able to catch it if you're like, stepping on them. Keep your foot here and keep your feet completely together so the base can find your foot, because if your foot is like out here and they have to catch it, they're not going to know where to put it. Always keep it directly next to your other foot and put all your weight in your right foot so the side base can catch it. So for flying, for body positions, you have Liberty, heel stretch, overstretch, and then you have arabesque, and then a scale, a scorpion, and then a straight leg scorpion is called a needle. And there's a lot of like different stretches you can do to get those positions. Like if you're stretching a needle, what I do, since this leg is like connected to your back, you get in the splits and then you lean back like here. You do the splits and then you lean back onto your leg like this, because that's what your body's gonna look like in the air. So that stretches your needle really good. On balance, get like a soup can or something and stand on it and like do your body positions. So for flying, it's good to have ab strength, because a lot of it, like body positions and stuff, comes from. I'm a side base, so my grip for the shoe, if her foot was here and we were doing a lib, I would have one hand underneath with my thumb on top and my thumb underneath and a hand on top. Now, UCA camps like hate this and they think like it's terrible or whatever. They tell you to hold a main base's wrist. So it would be like this. So if she was holding the foot, she's a main base, so one hand would be on the toe and one would be on the ankle. So mine would be here. Now you can do it either way, whichever is comfortable for you. More UCA camps want like this, but NCA or anything else is like hold it like this with one thumb on top and bottom and kind of holding it kind of like a hamburger, but not really. But either way, which is more comfortable for you guys. I'm obviously taller than Jordan, but I just explained to you like my grips and stuff. But basically, like if we were doing like any kind of like full round whatever, I would be the one having to like throw and like grab on and let go. So if you guys want to see any videos about like a specific stunt or anything, please let me know, and we can film that at our cheer practice or something, so you can show, or we can show you, and it'll be just more like in depth. But basically, I'm just another base, obviously, but yeah, I just have a little bit different of a job than.
So I'm a main base, and usually the main base is shorter than the side base, just because when you're doing like a Liberty or something, the side base is like has to be over you and have like a different grip, so it's just easier if the main base is shorter. But basically, I have all the weight on me, and that's what the side base is for. It's to help like relieve some of that weight. So
We don't have our Backspot here with us, which is Kaylin. You've seen her in some of my videos. But basically her job is to support the ankles and the back, so to help the bases so that there's not so much weight on them also. And typically they are taller. Usually they should be the tallest in the group. Well, for extensions, it's like waist, and then you go under the butt, and then you just hold the ankles, and you're pretty much stabilizing the flyer, but you're also like relieving weight, like lift up a little bit. And then for Liberty, the flyer is set like this, and you hold her ankle and under the butt, and you push up here, and then you put both one hand on top of the other on her ankle. And this is again why you can't wear lotion, because if you have lotion on your legs and it's slippery, she won't be able to hold on to you, and the bases will have all the weight. And
so yeah, cheer's a lot of fun, and like stunting, of course, but there's a lot of rules and like different like where your hands have to be.
Always be safe. You have to be very, very careful, especially stunting. Like that's like, I
I mean, perhaps 6 inches is one thing, but if you're starting to try higher level stunts, always have spotters. Your flyer needs to be your first priority because if they're falling, you can put yourself between, you know, the flyer and the floor. But if you're not going to do that, if you're stepping out of the way, your flyer's coming from, you know, if you're an extension, that's like 5 or 6 feet that they're falling to their head. So bases, you will get hurt just as easily. Like if the flyer's falling, she might hit you on the way down, but it's better for you to have a black eye than for her to have like a broken arm.
Never ever let your flyer hit the ground, because obviously what Sarah said, they're falling from like a lot higher, pretty much as tall as the main base is. That's how high their foot is, but also they're tall. Obviously they're not just like that tall,
like, you know,
but they're going
my
to have
foot's
some
at
height.
like 6 feet, my head's, you know, 11
Exactly,
feet up.
a lot higher. So if they fall, they're going to get hurt, obviously, a lot more than if you would just catch them or go like fall to the ground. Like there was times where we had to like be on the ground, like back, like holding your flyer.
I've injured
like,
so many bases.
Just make sure you're between them and the floor. Like you need to make sure you can do everything to catch them.
Everyone drops a stunt now and then, and it's not like, oh, if you fall, you're bad. It's if your flyer hits the ground,
Then that's bad. So
most of the time when you drop a stunt, the whole group will just kind of go out of the way. It's almost like an awkward cradle catch and you set out, and that's like a normal fall. But if it's like a bad fall and everyone like, just make sure you have spotters if you're trying a new stunt for the first time and stuff like that. Doing your stunt, okay? If your whole group's like, you can do it, and you don't feel like you can do it, don't give in to that and try it. If you know that you can't do it, or if you're scared to do it, if you're not comfortable with what they're asking you to do, don't do it.
because most likely the flyer won't feel confident, first of all, and then they won't want to do
If
it.
you're not confident and you're not like, oh, I can hit the stunt, you're not going to stand up like tight. You're going to be like, oh, I'm scared. You're going to go up wobbling, and then it's just going to come back down. And flyers, don't be scared. Like if it's one thing, if they're forcing you to do a stunt, you don't want to, but just like in general, don't be a scared, shaky flyer. Like be confident with your stunts. Make sure you're standing up tight. You know, if you're going up in a stunt, go up, walk.
Another thing is like when you're building a stunt, the bases need to make sure that they like sit and they're using their legs, because you don't need to bend over like this, because
You are going to have some
your
bad back problems.
So
when
just
you're
make sure
older.
you're kind of like squatting, like you kind of need to stick your butt out, like it's kind of
Yeah,
awkward.
it looks really awkward, but it helps in the long run because
Plus, if you're like, if you're bent over, sometimes like bend your head over. If the flyer goes up, they might knee you in the face on the way
So
up.
make sure
I've
you're
done
like
that
this.
before. Like, don't be like this. Plus, you're gonna have back problems. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be sore all the time.
yeah, so
be
make
straight.
sure you do work out your legs. It helps so much because
People think you have to have like guns to be a base. A lot of it is your leg muscle, honestly, and it's technique. You can be like, I can base. I've based plenty of times. Like I'm tiny and I'm not that strong, but it's technique. It's not like being buff and being really fit. I mean, obviously it helps, but. You know.
Okay, so that's it for this video. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.